I spent time on a destroyer from North Atlantic
Got some sharp points on
through the Panama Canal.
Right here is terrible. I want to get that against you.
And when I got into the Pacific, the war was in New Guinea. That was my first active fighting, was in New Guinea. And then went on to the Philippines. I missed Iwo Jima. I made Okinawa. And then I made Tokyo Bay. And I also was about, as I recall, we were about 200 miles off of Japan when they dropped the bomb. 200 miles. We didn't know it though. We didn't know it.
You didn't feel any? I mean, you I
no,
guess not 200
no.
miles away
But
from the coast.
then they give us a week after the war was over. They give us a week in Shanghai, China, and I was a shore patrolman for my ship in Shanghai, China, for a week.
Yeah.
And if you ever go there, which I'm sure you're all going there, you go into the South China Sea, which is muddy. It stays muddy. It's an ocean. It's a big, not like the blue waters you were on. Then you go up the Huangpu River to Shanghai, and it's nothing but mud, muddy, rains. There's no sewers. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but we were tied up at the docks in Shanghai, and they had these ferries going up and down the river, you know, hauling people. And when you wanted to go to the bathroom, they had ropes on the back end of the ship. Yeah, and you grab that rope and hold the rope and sit down and drop your pants and
my God.
go to the bathroom.
In the river?
Yeah, and the river was big. It was a big river. Gosh, it ran from here to inspection station.
But everyone could see you?
Who cared?
Must not have been any women on there.
They didn't sink any ships.
This is what was so strange during the war.
Your hand
Was it Singapore you went into when they were neutral?
Shanghai.
Oh, Shanghai?
Shanghai was, Shanghai was a world free port. Any country could go there and you were protected no matter who you were.
It was
There was Russian and German ships in there.
during the war.
And-
Everybody
and-
tied up together.
And yet we would,
And as soon as they got out so many miles, then bam, bam.
Oh, where's
Well,
that, Singapore?
Shanghai.
Oh, Shanghai.
Strange.
Starts with an S.
I got discharged in April 1946, got married in June 1946,
Don't fight right now.
and I was on the destroyer escort
Well, they couldn't.
number 588,
It was a neutral port.
Oh,
They
no.
couldn't.
and came home and I said to myself, I'll never ever join another organization. I didn't even join the Scouts. But a guy come along and signed me up for a reserve in the United States Naval Reserves. And I just got a hold of a service station in July of 1950 at 12th Street and F. It was a shell station. And Cleo went down to the post office because I'd ordered some books for the station. Tell them.
Take it.
He sets up the story for you.
Anyway, I went to
Books.
because we had general delivery, you know, that's where we got our mail. Just go, and if it
Service
was a
station.
package or anything too big to put in the box, you had to go to the window to get it. So I went back to the window and said, "Do you have something for me?"
Talk louder, they can't hear you.
And he said yes, and he pushed this this big manila envelope out to me. And
What it was is we thought it was the books that came. You know, they notified us.
catalogs. And he looked at me real funny. And I thought, you know, what's he looking at me real funny for? And I turned it over and there was this great big seal. You know how when
Oh, yeah.
government seals it like wax stuff on it, you know? And I looked at him and he looked at me and I said, oh no, and he said, shook his head yes.
Meaning what?
His orders.
To go to
Yeah,
war
Korea.
again?
They called him back in. Yeah. and gave him 10 days to take care of all his business and report.
Is that while you were pregnant with her?
Is what?
Is that while you were pregnant with her?
No.
50, well,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I guess so, yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
Because you left.
And gave
Yeah,
him
you were 3 days old.
gave him 10 days to get all his.
No, you were born.
Get rid of his
You left when
business.
I was 3 days old.
I left for Korea after, well, I
On
went to
leave?
the service, yeah.
Yeah.
I went to San Diego, or to Long Beach.
When you were 3 days old, and then you went to Japan. Remember? Remember?
I don't remember.
I remember when I come
Tina must be
home,
bored.
you didn't walk down to the depot with her and Richard
She
to meet me
couldn't.
on the bus.
She couldn't.
What was I, 9 months old?
6, 7, 8, 9,
Sandy
7.
did, but
Oh, but you weren't coming home?
Well, in 1952, I come home. But they all went down to the bus to meet me.
Richard and Sandy and I went down to the bus.
And you know, when I come
He
home,
never seen you since you were 3 days old, and you were what, 6, 7,
7 months old,
7 months old, I guess.
I was in the Navy longer, but there was 7 months over there.
So you were just in Korea
I went to Korea. I made
Active?
Incheon.
for a year?
I was there 7 months.
Japan.
And then I went to
Then-
Japan, and I come home from Japan. But Japan was all, there was no war in 1952 with Japan.
Well, how long was your naval reserve? Was it just for a year
What was it,
total?
17 months? Did I do 17
Oh,
months?
gee.
I can't even
He
remember.
never went to a meeting, he never got a dime for going, yet he was in the reserves. And your name's on the list, so they called you up. And they had no reason to call him, you know.
It wasn't a war.
He gets nothing
Still not
today.
been a war.
They will not
Killed
pay
more
him
people in
today.
Korea than the war killed.
Yeah.
They will not pay
It
him
was a,
today. No
peace,
benefits, no nothing.
Like Vietnam,
It
a
was a
peace
forgotten war.
mission or something, wasn't it?
Police action.
Action.
But I'm wondering someday if they won't declare it.
I think we ought to be paid for it.
Well,
I think
if they
should
declare it,
be.
they're not gonna pay for it though.
I think it should. And now they wouldn't have put up this memorial and everything if it hadn't have been for the Vietnam veterans raising such a stink and got theirs. And so they finally decided to put one up for these.
Was there
And
one
now the
up?
women just got one.
Yeah.
And now they're just gonna, what is it, they're just going to put one up for, what did I read? They just set aside the property for another one, and I can't think
Yeah.
what it's for.
I hope you guys never have your kids go to war, but it won't be the war that I went to.
No, they're not even called the same anymore, it just,
Is it worse now?
it's all taught on computers. Everything is computered out, you know, and like the Gulf War, that was all Air Force. You know, they were the ones that really
Can you believe